Hi, my name's Jeff Summers, and this is part 3 of Ask Jeff Anything, where I'm taking any question from anybody and answering it here on my blog. Today's question comes from Stephanie Schmidt, who writes, what software do you normally use to write your manuscripts in, or do you write them by hand first? Well, thanks for your question, Stephanie. I do actually still write in longhand for some things. I write short stories in a notebook in longhand. I do this for a couple of reasons. One, it forces me to slow down a little bit and think a little bit more. I don't know, it feels a little more organic to write by hand. And two, it frees me from the electrical grid and internet connection or anything like that. I don't have to worry about where I'm writing. I can be out in the woods and still writing in a notebook. Not that I ever do that, but I also, up until a few years ago, used to work on a manual typewriter, an old, ancient 1950s manual Remington that I stole from my mother when I was 10 years old and have never given back or offered her any compensation for. When I was in high school, I actually glued a blue plastic skull onto the typewriter and dubbed it the Mighty Mooga Mooga, and that was my muse during my teen years. Of course, today, like everybody else, I work on a computer and software, because when I asked my agent if I could hand all my books to her as typewritten pages, she told me that would be the last thing I ever did and that no one would ever find the body. So I work in a word processor like everybody else. I'm a big proponent of open source software. Number one, because it's free, and I'm a writer, so I spend all my money on booze and cat toys. And number two, because, well, it's free, and I spend all my money on booze and cat toys. What I've been working in the last couple of years really successfully is a program called OpenOffice, which is a clone of the Microsoft Office suite. For my zine, I use a program called Scribus to lay out all the pages and deliver them, to make up PDFs to deliver to the printer. And that's been fantastic too. So I would hardly recommend open source tools for any writer. Thanks again for your question, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Until next time, my name's Jeff Summers, and I was once reprimanded by a magazine editor for submitting photocopies.